You read the title right, gang. I'm over it. I'm done. I'm done dealing with a lot of this stuff over here, man. Like at this point, I don't know what people want me to say, what people need me to say, other than teaching you guys how to use this machine. I'm tired of even seeing some of the discourse myself, even though I don't even partake in the conversations, rather than my experiences with the MPC Live 3. And, since this is a 2 month review, it was supposed to be a 1 month review. I think I've qualified since I've had it for quite a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to stir the pot, though I will say some things that will be controversial. So I know a lot of people will have things to say in the comment section. It's just me just airing out my grievances and not trying to be too much of a jerk. I know people like me for being a jerk. I like me for being funny. But there are times where I am a jerk. I'm just going to be honest and just be fair with my audience. Okay. So, I'm solely focusing on students from now on when it comes to my content, dude. That means that I got a few more videos in the tuck that will be on the YouTube channel publicly for everyone. But over at 16levels.com is where I'm going to start doing a lot more of my stuff. Like just dropping more videos, and as people suggest things on there that already have the masterclass, that's where my heart is at now. So I can avoid all the extra stuff that we have been dealing with. Holy crap, bruh. But more or less, let's talk about the MPC Live 3 and my experience in the last 2 months, because that's where we're going to get to, and we'll get into the discourse and all the other things that I've been talking about here. The main thing I'll say about the MPC Live 3, I've watched a lot of people put things in the comment section that they wanted out of an MPC, as far as like the clip mode and a microphone. I being one of the people that said, man, this will be the most amazing thing because it's already portable. And yes, it stays true. It has a lithium ion battery. The battery life on there is fair. I don't know what the website quotes the battery, but I will say I've gotten a good 2 to 3 hours going hard on the MPC pause, and it not just shut down completely. Everything isn't good on this unit. I know the thing that people were killing them about was the look of the MPC. And, the only thing I can tell you is that when I saw it for the first time, I thought it was kind of weird looking. I would even say it, yes, a bit ugly. But as I saw the functionality and how they tied in everything from 3.0 and added more buttons and including the step sequencer at the top, it was easy for me to fall in love with that thing. You know what I'm saying? And I barely use the sequencer for what it is, the step sequencer, I mean. I don't necessarily care for it like, the average person, but it opens up the doors for many people, especially like FL Studio. I'm not going to hit pads on time type people, or I just don't care for the pads. I much rather just enter stuff into the step sequencer type people. They thoroughly enjoy this thing. And one thing I will say is this is the fastest selling MPC of all time. I just checked on Sweetwater. Sweetwater just got a fresh pack of them things and they're gone. I checked Zounds.com and I think they just re-upped, and they're gone. The last time I checked, it might be different now. I do have a link in the description box to a whole bunch of places. One of them, Guitar Center. I think Guitar Center has them in stock, but that says a lot when people are buying them that quick at their local stores. Dude, this making people leave the house to get something and then return to their crib to cook up on it. Now, am I saying everything on the MPC is perfect? Hell to the no. The MPC Live 3, from what I know, could use a little bit more optimization, but that's normal for any piece of hardware. In this nature, this is something that's quite unique and hasn't been done before. Where you know what I'm saying? I don't even know the damn specs. I think it's like 8 cores or something like that. I think a lot of people don't even have laptops that have 8 cores, bruh. Are you serious? 8 cores? And it has, 8 gigs of RAM? Now, that much, yes. Many people have 8 gigs, and the average, I think, now is like 16 or 32 gigs. But nonetheless, though, we're talking about something that's dedicated for music, bro. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you don't necessarily need all of that, and that's where I get into a level of discourse that people have with the MPC Live 3, and they're like, man, well, I don't see the difference between this and the Live 2. Well, it depends. Have you actually touched the MPC Live 3? Because if you haven't touched the MPC Live 3, you are just saying that. It's just hearsay. And granted, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but their opinion would make more sense if it was more factual than anything. And if you are someone that's looking to get an MPC Live 3, I recommend going to akaipro.com and clicking on the MPC Live 3, and they have a breakdown about halfway down their website of why it's different than the MPC Live 2. And it doesn't make sense for them to recycle the ideas of the MPC Live 2. Like, that would be hard to convince people. It wouldn't have sold out if it wasn't that many differences. That was one of the many grievances within a lot of discourse videos, is that a lot of the MPCs are far too similar. And with their refresh, the discontinuation of the MPC Live 2, going from an MPC 1 Plus to an MPC Live 3 makes way more sense. It makes way more sense. I've already tested some of the specs and stuff like that in one video where I just used a little bit of discourse so that people could see, will get what they want in an aspect there. And, I tested out the stems in that video, but I have a whole entire comparison of pulling up sounds and whatnot, dude. It's not even close. It's not even close. I don't even know if it's even worth it to publish it, but let me know in the comment section. I'll publish that thing. I will. I will say this, though. I noticed the level of impact the MPC Live 3 had wasn't felt with the same level of impact as the MPC Live 2, despite the MPC Live 3 outselling the MPC Live 2 in a quicker time span. It's not probably, I know it is the fastest selling MPC of all time. I've seen the stats and how hard it's been to get and all this other stuff. But when I originally got my MPC Live 2, man, it was fun. Everything seemed fun, but that was 2020 in a nutshell. And now we're in 2025. So things have changed. I've changed. You've changed. People just change. But the level of discourse is ridiculous, dog. I can't even front on that shit. While we're keeping it real, and I will say this as far as like the bad, there are times, again, with optimization where I think the MPC Live 3, it needs a little bit of help. And, I deal with students and stuff like that. I have private lessons over there at 16levels.com. And, I've done a private lesson where I was like, man, go to a new project. Let's start fresh. And boy, their MPC Live 3 took a hot minute to refresh. And it was not just only them, it was someone else too. And I was just like, huh? And to be fair to AKAI, I don't know what they did for them to have a different experience than me, but they're still having that experience. And that's, where we're at with it, because it will get updated. I promise you that. There's one thing about AKAI. AKAI has updated stuff insanely, a lot. And they have dropped the ball at times too. But we're only human at the end of the day. We're not AI. Holy crap. A lot of y'all think that these companies are humongous and they just do things on purpose. And sometimes it's an oversight. And not to throw another company under the bus, but dude, Native Instruments just got their update for the Machine Plus. Granted, it's been years before they updated that thing. And they have their own issues over there. So that's why I'm far more forgiving, because I already know their situation too. And, I get it, guys. Like, you want your stuff to work the way you want it to work. But you got the vast majority of things that y'all asked for the next MPC to have is here. Now, here's something I really want to talk about: the discourse. A lot of you guys are just dropping videos for the sake of dropping videos. And more power to you. I understand in this content creator space, rage baiting helps a lot. But when you're starting to lie about things, or you're just saying things just to get clicks and it because it might be popular, dude, it's very misleading. It is. And when people are looking at this content and then they turn around and they see someone else and they're not having the same type of grievances or issues, or if they have the MPC Live 3 in front of them, they're using it to create versus to be, I don't know what y'all be on, but more power to you. I get it. I get the grind. No hate. It just becomes where it's starting to be a little egregious is the same little argument about like converters and stuff like that. In which, look, if you feel that it sounds older stuff sounds better, because I heard someone say, well, what's the point of me getting the MPC Live 3 when I can get the MPC 1 Plus? Well, there's a whole bunch of differences, dude. It's not even close. If we're talking about the MPC 1, matter of fact, all the older MPCs, we're going to talk about anything. Maybe excluding the MPC XSE and the Key 61, they pale in comparison to the DACs of the MPC Live 3. Matter of fact, it's not even close, dude. And that is even apparent in the video that I don't know if I should release, if people will even watch it. You know what I'm saying? But I can. And y'all will see the huge difference in like sound quality. Same track, same sample, everything, all that. And even if I do videos like those, people will make excuses and feel like they're right, regardless of the scientific proof. And those videos just don't matter. So that's why I don't even partake in a lot of the discourse. And nonetheless, dude, when it comes down to it, I'm just over it. I'm just over a lot of the stuff. I'm over some of the things that are happening behind the scenes. I'm just not going to say it because, I don't want to get sued, and I just don't want to throw people under the bus or whatever. And then they know what they're doing. I'm just going to put it that way. But it's not all bad. I'm really excited for the future. Truth be told, I'm really digging the AI stuff that's out right now. I know there's a lot of discourse for that. And there's also a healthy amount of misinformation on that. People are just, because it's such a trend and because everybody can jump in and make their music sound professional without any gear, that which also puts into question, where is the gear side of this realm that we're in? What is that going to be in the next couple of months, years, so forth? Think about that. FL Studio 25.2, phenomenal. I love the new sampler in there. And it also is implementing things that I can use my computer science degree on. They have an AI assistant. Dude, look, that is, I'm telling you, don't sleep on FL Studio. I want to do skits too. I just want to make people laugh. I like making you guys laugh. I don't like making videos like these. It's silly. It's just silly. And then a lot of my documentary type stuff on this channel does extremely well. So it's not like I won't do any MPC videos, but it's just hit different. And I think they'll do a whole lot better if I format it in a different way versus everybody else that just want to talk about a certain feature on there. And, I'm going to invest more time into that. And then again, I'm available over there, 16 levels, dog. You know what I'm saying? I do my own thing over there, self-made. I hate to be that way. I love working with a team and all that, but dude, I'm only one person at the end of the day. But there's so much. There's just so much that we can deal with. You know what I'm saying? And so the future of the MPC content on here is great. But nonetheless, overall, I still think that the MPC Live 3 is a phenomenal piece of kit. It doesn't have its problems, absolutely. Is it ugly? Well, let's just say yes. But is it intuitive and engaging? Yeah. The vibes over here. Ain't nothing changed.